Welcome back to BWTV, where I give you here some of the livest, uncut, unfiltered conversations. But on black topic, anything black related. But I wanted to talk about something real quick that was just on my mind and everything like that. Um, so I was once married and now divorced, and I have a good relationship with my ex-wife. Um, I met her in college. She was like I met her freshman year in college, and I knew her ever since and everything like that. She's my first marriage, first divorce, got my one and only kid with, and everything like that. But uh, to to pretty much give you the story, so me and my ex-wife, we married each other at 29 years old. We got married at 29, but we known each other since we was 18. We got married. The marriage only really lasted for 4 years. We was married for 4 years, stayed married on paper for 6 years, and then my bad, 8 years, and then officially divorce was final after 8 years. But we were married for 4 years until she wanted to separate. And at the time, she wanted to, just to make a long story short, it was more or enough for the final nail in the coffin was for financial reasons. I had quit a very lucrative job that I had at the time due to well, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't very lucrative. I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was making a decent amount of money. But anyways, I quit what I felt was due to a racial discrimination matter. But back then, I mean, I was in my late 20s, well 30s. I didn't really, that was my first job I ever quit. I didn't really know about the unemployment laws and everything, because I never in my life received unemployment. I always held a job and everything, left when I wanted to leave, whether it was due to me having to move for some nature or me being in school for the majority of my life, up until my late 20s, being that I went to college. But so I didn't know that if you quit a job that you can't get unemployment. So I didn't have that to pretty much stifle me and cover me until I was, hopefully get another job in time. But my wife, she had a pretty good job. She was holding the family down and everything like that. But so eventually, finances amongst other things pretty much got into the issue, which I didn't feel that it was nothing that could be worked out, but it was just financial. Couldn't find a job that what I deemed was appropriate as far as how much money I was going to be making. I was going to have to take one of them lower wages jobs and everything like that, far as till I got back on my feet, and I really couldn't bring myself to do that at the time. Anyway, not to make this story long and drawn out. So we divorced over financial reasons. So that was back in 2012 when she wanted to separate and everything like that. So it's been 11 years since then. 11 years, uh, it's past. I've got back on my feet way before then, and I'm doing way better than I am now than I was when I was with her. And now she has the child, and which is going to brings up to my point that I'm about to get to. So fast forward 11 years later, where I'm doing financially a hell of a lot more than I was when I was married. And now that we're divorced, me and her only share the same. We share the same child. She's 14, about to turn 15. But when this whole Kevin Samuels thing came along, when he pretty much came to prominence, pretty much what was that 2 years ago, I recall me and her had a conversation about things of his point of views and everything like that, and she wanted to see what I felt and how I felt, and I guess in how it would apply to her life. So, and this is beautiful for me because I really wanted her. I wanted to be as straight up honest and as honest as I could, but not really be brutal about it. But I'm just going to give her the straight truth, no chasing, no cut, no nothing, right? So I told her. So I said, look, if anybody knows you, I know you, and I know the type of man that you want. You want a man such as I, but just with a much bigger bank. You want a guy that's about over 6 feet tall, in nice physical shape, that is very appealing to the eye. That that's going to make your friends and everybody be very happy about, that they can look up to and everything like that. Make you still feel good about yourself and making a substantial amount of money as far as paying the majority of the bills. The problem is that you are now even though you got married, at least you showed that you got married, but now divorced. But that man is still going to look at you as a quote unquote baby mama, a single mother. So you do have a child. Now, granted, the child that we have, she's very intelligent. She has manners and everything like that because she comes from a good family. However, that man doesn't know you. He's meeting you for the very first time, and you're older now. Like you're much older now. It's not like I met you when we were in our late teens and I knew you through all out your 20s. You're coming to this man at the, dare I say it, at a lesser value. And I had to be straight with it because she didn't want to hear that. But I'm like, look, your value is not as once great as it was. I'm like, I took all your value. You gave your value to me, but you're the one that wanted the divorce. And being that I told you that this is a very important decision that you're going to make, because if you want a divorce and if it's really all because of it being financial, do you really think I'm going to remain in this lower financial state for the rest of my life? Like, that's what I'm saying. She was very short sighted, and women make very rash, bad decisions when they're very emotional. So I'm like, this is a lifelong decision you're going to make, because if you're going to divorce me over financial means, then once I do get myself back on my feet, and I will get myself back on my feet, if you really want to get back together again, I don't think I could get back. I don't think that I could ever get back with you, because the loyalty you showed me, that pretty much you couldn't be down for me when I'm at my lowest point. And how can I trust you back in the future for you to do the same thing if the same thing were to happen again? Which I don't think that's going to happen again. But it's just, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I don't want to get off the topic, but so the type of man that she wants, she doesn't have or yield the same value that she once has that when I was with her, because she's much older. Her body was once tight back in college and back in her 20s, but it's not nearly as it was as it is now. And I had to explain that to her. And that's when she kind of like got an attitude. And she really didn't want to have she didn't really want to continue the conversation, because she can see that I was about to get really real with her. And I'm like, Leia, you're still cute. Granted, you still have a natural beauty in your face, but it's not as your body's not as tight as it once was. And plus, not to mention, she was one that she was always beautiful. She was always fine in the face like that, but her body wasn't like I kind of settled on the body. But I mean, I wasn't settled. I was getting in where I fit in, and plus shit. The value she had at the time when I was getting with her, shit was greater than mine. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just was very smart enough not to know not to have any kids until I picked the right one. But yeah, it's like, she's still cute. She still look good in the face, but her body, far as attractive wise, far as what men are looking for, no matter the age range, no matter if we're 20 or 40 or 50, we still looking for the same thing. And the body has plays a very great part in the type of woman that we're going to choose. And she's one of those ones that's, she's lazy. She doesn't really like to go to the gym. So that's why she let her body fall off. And she's never going to get it back because she's older now. She's more lazier now. And plus, I mean, she's at probably a different mentality where she's thinking, I'm older now and I'm just going to let my ways sit in because I'm older. I'm almost 50 and everything like that. But yeah, so she really couldn't really, she didn't want to really continue the conversation. I'm like, versus me, like I'm still able to get a girl anywhere between her early 20s to in 40s. But it's just the women that I'm meeting in my 40s, the majority of them not meeting the physical appearance standard, such as versus the girls that I'm meeting in their mid 20s to early 30s. And that's what women hate. And that's what I was trying to explain to her. That's why it's going to be hard for you to get a man that you want, of the value that you're needing, making the type of money that you want, because the type of woman that he wants, he can do better. And that's what I was going to get to, but she didn't want to hear that part. And to be truthful, it's like, I think I kind of did tell her that, but not that shit. I didn't want to really hurt her feelings, but that's the truth, and that's what most women don't want to hear. And now she hates it now, being that I do make way more money than I did back when me and her were married, and I'm still able to get girls left and right. She's at least I picked a woman that I know that if it were to ever end up in divorce, that at least I know my kid will still be straight. I don't have to worry about her, how she's going to be raised, because I know the type of woman that I chose, far as her being growing up to be a very mature, classy, non-ratchet female. But she, yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But I meant to say something else. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I just, you know what I'm saying. I just we share the same child, and we would what I'm looking for, what I can yield is way better, and it still is stronger than what she can, and that's the type of thing, and that's the type of thing that most women hate. And my ex-wife is living proof of that because she's very classy. She doesn't bring men home, you know, to meet my daughter or anything like that. My daughter hasn't met any man other than myself. Now, I talked to my, ex-wife about shit like this and everything like that. She always goes to the dude crib and everything like that. But there was this one dude that she, I guess she thought was getting serious, or she thought was going to be something of the ones that she of the value that she deemed of value, but it ended up not working out. And this is why, like, she's still like she don't really like to talk to me about shit like this because she doesn't want me to say I told you so. But like she was telling me, like, she didn't really go into it because she's a classy lady. She don't go into her who she's dealing with me and everything like that because it's totally separate. It's none of my business. But being that it was about the Kevin Samuels issue, that was the only time she kind of divulged a certain bit of information. Like, she just told me that it was getting kind of serious. She had been messing with somebody. He's never met my daughter yet, but she do feel like it was getting kind of serious and everything like that. And I told her, I'm like, well, if it hasn't really got that serious yet, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work out. And I told her why. And I told her that my daughter's being a big issue, that if you're really looking for the dude that I think you're one looking for, then that means either y'all gonna have to get a new place or something like that, because no dude is gonna move in with you if he really got his own shit together. But anyway, to make a long story short, it ended up not working out. I just know that much. She didn't tell me why, but I can only assume, and I'm pretty sure I know why it is. That he just wasn't really being real with her. He was just stringing her along and for the time well-being, until to the point where I guess she got serious and put her foot down and says, what's it going to be from here? Because I think she is looking to trying to get remarried. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. I think she's looking to get remarried. She doesn't mind. But if it doesn't happen, I guess she says she's not tripping about it. Me, I don't want to get married again. Shit, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I would never, ever, and now, especially now that I got something, but I'm never going to put a woman in a position to be able to take half of the shit away that I worked so hard for. So that's why I don't ever see me getting married again. Plus, I mean, I'm still I'm in my early 40s. I'm about to be 44 this June, and I'm still doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it was curtains for me, where if I was still looking if I was looking older than what I really look. A lot of people that I went to school with who's in my age range, they're just they're aging quicker than I am. Like, a lot of them's all gray haired already, salt and pepper haired already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still I haven't turned, my hair is not graying or nothing like that. So even when I look in the mirror, it kind of it just baffles me, because I'm like, damn, I can't believe I'm 43 when the chick says I be in the club I be talking to, checking me out and shit, they in their 20s to their 30s, and I don't look nowhere in my 40s. I get this shit all the time, so it's it kind of, you know what I'm saying, catches me off guard, because I'm with my peers, when I'm around my peers, I'm like, damn, y'all look old, and we the same age, but I don't look old like y'all. So I guess that's why I can still get away with some shit that a lot of my other, a lot of friends that I got, that I grew up with and shit like that, they can't really get shit. The majority of my tight friends, they married anyway. You know what I'm saying? They were married, or they, so I only got really this two that's doing that thing. But for the most part, all my peoples that I see on Facebook, I'm like, damn, we really are up there, man. We really about to hit 50. I'll be 44 this June. Turning 50 in fucking, I'll be 50 in 6 years pretty much. I don't look nowhere. Like, if I was telling you, man, I'm about to turn 50, it's like, damn, dog, you really that old? Yeah, 50 sounds, yeah, once you hit 50, that's when you're old. But it's like, damn, I don't look nowhere near 50 at all. That's how I get these options. That's why I'm not here bitching and complaining like most people. Because I'm used to it though. I used to get shit like that all my life. But yeah, my baby mama, my ex-wife, she hate that shit. I'm just up here rambling because I'm just giving y'all a real spiel what's on my mind right now. But yeah. So, which is why I want to drop some jewels for the generation that's coming after Generation X, because I'm the baby of Generation X. I was born June of 1979, and it's pretty much I'm like 6 months from the next generation. So it's like I grew up really at 80s, but on the cusp, I'm like I'm the baby of Generation X. So the jewels that I'm about to give y'all to the next generation, like for real, listen, take heed, because now that I'm here, because like these years in your 20s and those 20s in your early 20s, those years don't seem like they're gonna pass by quick. But once you get rolling into your late 20s, especially rolling down to 30, then you start to fly by real quick. And then once you hit late 30s into your 40s, man, it's like these years go by so quick. So what I want to say is, man, men, you want to work your hardest while you're younger. I really wish I worked harder instead of chasing pussy in my early 20s. I really wish I did that more. I got it late, but I really would wish I worked on, my business, staying on my purpose than chasing these hoes more in my 20s. Because once you get to this age, and if you ain't got shit to show for it at this age, it's not a good look. And I seen some of my friends, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of see them in a fucked up ass state when they living all fucked up in your 40s, in your early to mid 40s and shit, and you ain't got shit to show for it. You ain't got the pot to piss in. You ain't got shit to show for it. Trust me, you want to take your early years, work as hard as you can, do whatever you need to do, school, whatever it is, whatever talent that you got, whatever it is that you great that you do, you want to do it to the fullest extent, because you want to be smart throughout those years, and so that once you get to your later years, you can have something to show for it. You have something to fall back on. Because I see a lot of people out here struggling, a lot of people that's my age who I went to school with, that's like either got to go back home and live with their moms, or they shacking up with other people. It's just I done seen some fucked up ass situations, and then they ain't got the heart to really, when you trying to hook up with them, whatever, trying to go out with them, they ain't really, saying, you can't really hook up no more because they trying to save face. They can't really look at you in your eyes and shit, because you know them from way back, and now that you how they the extent that they supposed to be at, because they looking at you as an example of what where we was trying to get when we were younger. And they see that one has made it, one is not, one is barely, not even I made it. It's just, I damn sure ain't living in my mama house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, I still know niggas who still like living with some type of family member. And because they ain't, can't do it by themselves, and it's sad. But it's life, man. You gotta learn from life experiences. But if I can tell or teach y'all, one of the the younger generations, anything, man, fellas, you want to chase less pussy. That's the only thing. I ain't gonna say I regret. It's not a regret, because I didn't shit. I got a lot of pussy in my past, but you really want to stay on your purpose more. You want to work to really stay focused on that money and get as much money you can, so you can have something to look back on once you get to the stage in life. And it won't be so hard. You'll be able to do whatever you want, kind of, sort of, in its later age. That's why people, when we get to our age, when we see people trying to floss all this money and jewelry and shit, and when you're in your earlier years, it just looks, I ain't gonna say it looks stupid, but it's like, once you get to our age, it's like, man, was it worth it? Because it's like, if you ain't got none of that shit, none of that money put away to show for it when you get older, and you living in a more fucked up state than when you was in your 20s, it's like, damn, was it worth it? I mean, shit. All that flexing and all that trying to show that you got money, faking it till you make it and shit, it all look good, but people don't never think about the future. Really don't never think about the future. That could have been stuff for your kids. That could have been put away for yourself for the future. Now you, at a later age, broke down, broke up, fucked up, and disgusted. People really don't think about the future. Shit. We all fall victim to it. Shit. I know, because when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I really wasn't thinking about the future like that either. I was just living for the day. I really was just living for the day. It's not until you get into your later years, especially like early to mid 30s. My mid 30s when I said, "Fuck, what the fuck am I doing?" That's when I woke up. I need to stop chasing these hoes and get my money right. That's when I woke up because it's like, damn, all this time has passed and I really ain't done shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit really hits you. Like, and I'm like I said, I'm the baby of the Generation X. I'm like 6 months away from the next generation. So I'm telling y'all, man, for real, when you're 20s, fellas, you want to say focus on your money. Ladies, you really want to guard your womb to the fullest extent. You really want to treat like if you ain't got women, man, if you the ones who ain't got no kids, if you ain't got no kids, any real niggas gonna tell you that is your crown jewel right there. That is your money maker. You better choose the best, most value man you can. If you was something to look at and ain't got no kids, and you got the world is at your shoulders. I'm telling y'all, if you find with no kids, the world is your oyster. You better just pick right. So once you have that kid, it's a wrap. You better pick right for real, because that's what we look at. That's the only thing we really look at when it comes down to it. I mean, character, mannerism, and everything like that comes into it, but that kid, if you ain't got no kids, that's the crown jewel. You better guard that with your life until you deem a nigga who's value, who's worthy of giving him a kid. But yeah, man, I just want to explain, tell y'all that story. My baby mama hating life now. I ain't say she hating life. She one of them people. She got a good education. She's still cute in the face. She make money. It's just she live up north, so she make money, but she spend most of that money in taxes and everything just for living in Jersey. But the type of nigga I know that she's not gonna be able to get him. That's what I do know. And she mad because I think she's knowing it's coming to fruition. The type of dude that she wants, she's definitely gonna have to settle. Well, she's calling it settling, but I know it ain't settling. I'm like, that nigga, whoever he is really gonna be kind of settling for you. I can see if it was 20 years ago, but it's not 20 years ago. You in your 40s now, mid 40s now. You got a kid. You got my beautiful daughter, even though she's smart and classy and everything like that, it's still a kid that's not his. And you want him to do this, that, and the third, make this amount of much, but he gonna look at you like, yeah, you cute and all, but shit, for $100,000 a year, I can do better. And she don't want to hear that. That's why I know, that's why I know she hating on me now because shit, I'm with a different. Well, I ain't gonna get on that, but yeah, she different now because she know how I'm moving. That's pretty much in a nutshell. She know how I'm moving, and she hate it. Like, well, you the one that bailed, and that's just another thing, man. Look, we can do all the right things, and I chose right. I chose right. She just came to the point in her life where she made a decision, and thought she could do better, and you know what I'm saying. I had to come to grips and to know that's what it was truly about. My baby mama, my ex-wife, thought she can do that to do better. Come to the fast forward to the future, she ain't really done better. She's been single ever since. I mean, she probably had little fuck partners ever since we have divorced and everything like that. But as far as a nigga who's taking her seriously, she ain't had nothing. It's been nothing at all. So she knows she just gonna be somebody's jump off of her choosing whenever he want. Because as far as a nigga that she's looking for, it ain't. She gonna have to lower them standards for real, for real. And she hate the way down I'm moving because she know I'm getting chicks that's better than her, and I ain't gotta do as much. She hating it, but hey, that's what they chose. They made their bed. They gotta line it, man. Everything that has to pass comes. It ends up having a future. But that's the two most vital pieces of information and jewels that I can give the younger generation. Men, stay on your purpose about that money, man, because that time starts to roll very fast once you get in your 30s. And years just fly. Women, y'all want to ground your womb. Y'all want to, protect that womb by any means necessary until you feel and pick right and make that dude marry you before you had a kid. I don't know if y'all want to be baby mamas or, I mean, we know a lot of y'all growing up in the game, your mama teaching the game and everything like that. But for the women that's really, truly, genuine looking for somebody, that's really looking for somebody to marry, you want to protect, you want to choose wisely and just protect your womb because that's what we value. The number one thing. That's it, man. That's my rant. Like, comment, subscribe. We can drop more jewels, more real talk later. But like, comment, subscribe. Want to know what y'all think. And I'm out. Peace.